inspiring, motivating, and I believe that all the people who are will be inspired by that message because I believe it's very strong and inspirational.
What was the message that you think about from today
To have great experience, not give up, not having a bad attitude, go to sleep well, the sleep number.
And then, but why is going to sleep so important?
Because what if you have to go to sleep? You go to sleep, you re-energize yourself, you get ready for another beautiful day. You have to live, you have to enjoy your life, do everything you have to do. Like me, I go to sleep at a good time, study, learn, persevere, get ready for college, go on to other majors.
All right, so what does it mean to you to be able to come out to the school and talk to these students and have an impact on them?
Yeah, just part of my, NFL career and NFL progression has been, obviously in football, but then as I've gotten older, it's going out into the community. I've really understood, what community means to the game of football and what, we mean to our own community as well. And I started my Austin Ekeler Foundation to help the community, and then I, had an opportunity to partner with to actually help the community as well. So it was a partnership that kind of aligned with what I was trying to do already, as far as talking about mental health and physical health. And when that was the case, it's like, yeah, absolutely, let's get out there and let's do our thing and try to educate and try to help and implement resources. So it's been great, and I'm looking forward to doing more.
What's a message you want to share with kids who weren't here at this school but deserve to know the same things?
Yeah, I think the most important thing I would say as far as when it comes to the youth is making sure that you're active, making sure that you're doing things. Because you won't always understand what you're learning from the things that you're doing, but when you're doing things, you're actually learning social skills. You're actually learning how to work as a team. You're learning how to work with yourself, learning how your own self. You're learning about yourself, what I like to do, what I don't. So for all the youth out there, I'll say go do things. Go get involved with your friends, clubs, industries, whether it's music, whether it's hanging out at the park, whether it's shooting basketball. Just go out and do things.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, your work ethic started young. You was working at these kids' age. You was working, doing a lot of housework, if I remember correctly.
Guys, can we? Thank you.
If I remember correctly, you were doing a lot of housework and helping out on the farm back at this age for these kids that you're talking to.
Right.
So, talking about these kids having fun, like, how do you feel about that, and to encourage these kids to just have enthusiasm about whatever they're doing?
Yeah, like I said, like you just mentioned, when I was younger, there was a lot of work, but there was also a lot of sports involved as well. So I was doing a lot of kind of everything all over the place, learning how to work hard when it came to building fence, and then learning how to work with a team when it came to the athletics and working with different types of people. And so as far as having fun, it wasn't always fun, when I think about it, but the thing is, it was the skills that I was learning. It was the experiences that I was going through that were helping shape who I was. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to youth is, putting an atmosphere around them that's going to help them shape themselves to a point where they understand themselves, they understand their skills, and then they can grow in those and learn more. And it's not always going to be fun. We know life's not always fun. But if you can try to, motivate by saying, hey, what do you enjoy? What are your passions? I think people find more skills in that because they will be just gravitating towards those more naturally, and that's where they have fun, right? Where do you have fun? Usually things you're passionate about and care about. So that's why I really push kids to do that, because it helps them find what they actually enjoy.
I think you touched on something a moment ago when you said kind of in your development, as you matured, now you feel like you want to give back to the kids. We talked a few years ago, and you really didn't have a foundation set in mind.
Yeah.
So why is it giving back to the kids? Why is it giving back to the community? Why did that touch you?
It's not just kids, it's really just people in general. I think kids are the most important, just place to focus resources because they're really developing still. When we get older, we can definitely change our habits, but it's a little bit harder because people are just kind of stuck in a way, right? And so I think if you get in front of it, and even with what Sleep Number's doing today, they're talking to youth because that's where you start. That's where you start to learn. It's kind of like a weird dynamic, just because I wouldn't say weird. It's just different because youth, they don't really understand. Like when I was in middle school, I was thinking, I'm doing this because it's gonna help me someday as far as learning how to work with a team. So it's hard to really how do I get kids to understand that? Well, you have them do things, and so that's people like, you know, sleep members, like giving them a pillow, stuff like that, just things to remember, just little things here and there, resources. And so I was thinking about my journey. You know, you asked like my journey, why I wasn't doing this before, and I didn't really start to realize how important it was to have people like understanding the story and like learning like the aspects of it until people started asking me how I got to where I was, and I started really diagnosing it. And people were like, "Wow, that's awesome! I'm gonna try that. Like, I'm gonna try using those goals." And so I saw the importance of just being able to relate and actually just open up myself, because I've come from a really tiny town. You know, now I'm out trying to help other people that are trying to find themselves. No, I'm dragging on, sorry, but I think the most important thing just in that whole conversation is just, it really came down to just having a platform and really understanding the importance of just people and just caring for each other, because it takes people to help to take care of people, and people are interested in people that have, you know, come a long way and have a long journey. I feel like I've done that in a really short period of time, where I came from a really tiny town to like a big platform, and people are really intrigued, and I'm like, okay, I have a specific opportunity where I can show people how I've done it, what's worked for me, and this is what it's been. And so now it's trying to just like spew it out to everyone, like, this is what I've done, this is what's helped me, and trying to help just educate.
It's awesome to see that growth, but to bring it back to the reason for the day, and you're talking about sleep, getting your sleep. You mentioned you had a bedtime. You give yourself a bedtime. What's that bedtime that you give yourself?
Yeah, I'm at 10:30.
Yeah,
10:30 I'm in bed.
10:30, lights are off.
It's more than sleep, right? It's mental health and it's physical health, really, and sleep plays a huge part of that, right? Because that's how you start your day every single day. You know, that's how you start every single day. Is hey, you wake up, right? So if you didn't get enough sleep, especially in my career, you're gonna know, and people are gonna know too. Like, hey, you're not performing today. And so for me, it's really apparent, you know, that you need to have a lot of great sleep and a great routine. And I think that's you know what we're talking about today. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to implement that to kids without, you know, lecturing them, because I hate lecturing.
Sure.
I'd rather, you know, do things. So that's why I'm glad, you know, Sleep Number's providing pillows, stuff like that, just to kind of remember, like, oh, let me use my Sleep Number pillow, you know, just other things just to help. Yeah,
fantastic, Austin. Thank you for your time, man. And I think it's great things that you're doing, kind of giving back to the community. So
Appreciate
super
that.
for you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
You can find men's and women's tees, tanks, and hoodies at shop.austinekeler.com. 100% of the profits goes towards the foundation.
That's super. And what's the foundation?
What was that?
What is the foundation?
The Austin Ekeler Foundation, really just about implementing reusable resources in areas of need. So some local projects we've worked on is the funding of a new weight room for a Southern California high school. We're working to identify some youth football programs, as well as other types of programs, just reusable resources for people, whether it be educational, technology-based, athletic-based in the Los Angeles area.
That's super, Madison. Thank you.
Thanks.